Farmers Branch Women Club supports local causes and provides scholarships to deserving students in the Carrollton Farmers Branch Independent School District. This donation by the Farmers Branch Women Club demonstrates their continued support of city programs, and particularly in this instance, their support of the Branch Connection. And just as you guys have always done time and time again, you guys rally the troops, raise money, put it forward to a good cause, and the work that you do in our community it touches almost our entire community. Not only do you get into our parks, you're giving to the senior center, you're raising money for other opportunities, and it's just we're so grateful for the work and love that you put into our community and all that you share, and just grateful to know each and every single one of you, because I've gotten to know most of you very closely over the years. So it's always fun to hang out with y'all and see the good work that you do. So just want to say thank you for that. And you want to share any words? Just
Thank you, Mayor Dye. We like to give back to the city for the help that the senior committee does and Farmers and the Branch Connection for helping us when we have our meetings there. And so we're doing this in honor of that.
Jackie, would you like to come up and say a few words? Got to give you as much camera time as possible now that you're able to be seen.
I just want to start off by saying I think we should really give these ladies a round of applause. I know last year was really tough with the pandemic and everything, but this wonderful group of ladies found a way to continue to do what they do, raise funds, and got really creative. And during all that, they did not forget about us and their willingness and dedication to keep us in their mind. I know we're appreciative of the donation, and we look forward to put it good use. Thank y'all so much.
One quick second. Just want to make a motion. I move to accept a donation of $1,500 from the Farmers Branch Women Club and amend the 2020-21 budget as required. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Lynn. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. So next is a presentation of a proclamation to Aaron Carter for dedicated service to the City of Farmers Branch as President of the Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce. No, you got to come up. Okay, so proclamation for service appreciation. Whereas Aaron Carter began her career at the Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce, serving Addison, Carrollton, and Farmers Branch in 2013, and became president and CEO in 2016. Whereas Aaron fully integrated herself into our communities and represented us nationally by serving as chair of the Winter Institute for Board of Regents for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation, trustee of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation, board member of the North Texas Commission, and numerous chairs of the Farmers Branch Rotary Club, and board member of the Carrollton Farmers Branch Independent School District Education Foundation and District Improvement Council. I'm going to read slower now. Whereas Aaron has poured her heart and soul into being a valuable resource for businesses, not only in Farmers Branch, but the Metro Crest region as a whole. Her ability to share her time providing equitable services between our communities and its businesses showed her true commitment to each of our cities. And whereas Aaron has spent numerous hours hosting fundraisers to help our disadvantaged school children, making trips to Austin to advocate on behalf of not only our businesses, but also our cities, and deeply committing herself to mentoring children, mentoring business leaders, and helping advocate for those in our community who have been marginalized in the past. And whereas in her time in the Metro Crest cities, Erin has not only become a stalwart of our community, but a true friend who can always call Farmers Branch home. Now, therefore, I, Robert C. Dye, Mayor of the City of Farmers Branch, do hereby offer gratitude and appreciation to Erin Carter for her leadership and partnership between the City of Farmers Branch and the Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce, and hereby declare June 25th is Erin Carter Day. So unfortunately, Erin will be leaving us for the city of Denton, where she will be taking on not only work at the chamber, but also economic development as well. I want to say that our partnership, both working with the Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce, and specifically with the City of Farmers Branch, has been a great one. I've valued your friendship. I've seen firsthand the love that you put not only into your job, but to each of the communities you represent. And you don't do it with any favoritism. It's how can I help each and every single one of you? And that was never more present than during the pandemic. She rolled up her sleeves, got to work, and even with a reduced staff from 3 down to 1, she was able to accomplish so much and help so many local businesses. But her leadership through that time with our school districts, whether that's been mentoring, whether that's been finding new ways to advocate and provide new programming for people that didn't have a voice. She's a true leader. She's definitely going to be missed, and Denton is going to be grateful to have you. So I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for your service to our community, and now you have to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor Dye. Thanks, Rob. I count you as a dear friend, and I appreciate our time together. This is probably the first time I've spoken without an agenda or without introducing myself and an address, so I'll be brief and short. But on behalf of the Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce, thank you for your support throughout the years. When I started in 2013, I think Farmers Branch was our least involved community, and although I don't have favorites, I would say because of the leadership of the council and the wonderful leadership of your city manager's office, and it is no secret that I absolutely adore Charles Cox, and so I make no secret of that. Farmers Branch is absolutely essential to the success of our business community. So a Chamber of Commerce is synonymous with family. Please know that you are a member of my family for the rest of my life, and thank you for helping me pave the path of my career. And I consider myself a member of your family. I have the pleasure of working at the privilege of our board, and so it has been a joy to consider myself a part of your extended staff. So thank you for your dedication to my career, and this is supposed to be a tour of thanks, not a tour of tears. So thank you for everything. I look forward to continue supporting and being a fan of the City of Farmers Branch forever forward. Thank you very much.
One more time for Erin. Sherelle, I'm handing this check to Charles so that we know that this time it gets to the right place. Before we get to the next item, just special recognition. Do want to recognize former Councilmember Harold Froelich, who's here with us. So welcome back. So next is our report on study session items. As always, you can go back and watch the tape. It's typically allows you to get a deeper understanding of the conversations that we had up there. But in A1, we talked about K1, which was essentially our council kind of deciding that we were going to implement a policy that if any council member is involved in an economic development opportunity or code enforcement issue, that they are contacting the council member from that district. And before any staff resources are deployed towards that effort, there's cooperation and approval from the council member from that district. So that's all that is. It's just a policy to make sure that we're staying informed, we're working as a team, kind of keeping everyone apprised of what's happening in their district if they've been accounted to, or I guess contacted by someone else. Item A2 was Hispanic Heritage Month event, which council will be putting on. We allocated $8,500 to bring an event this September, which will focus on that. This was led by Councilmember Rotana, something that's long overdue, fully supported by the council here, and something that we're looking forward to. I think there's going to be a deeper discussion as well this upcoming budget season to add this to next year as well in a more robust way, moving it from where we have Denton Drive Live over at the Grove into the historical park. So it'll be a much more, I guess it'll be a bigger and more prominent event, and it's something that I think we're all excited about and looking forward to and much needed in the community of Farmers Branch. A3 was a conversation about our legislative update. I had to take detailed notes on this one, just because Charles gave us a 108-page report. Oh, yeah, 269 items, over 100 pages worth of reading. But just some of the highlights. In terms of property tax, pandemics are excluded from the property tax rate calculation. So when we put the cap in at 3.5% for revenue generation over a previous year, if there was a disaster or something was declared, we would be able to go back to our rollback rate of 8%. Pandemics are excluded from that, so that will change how we calculate our revenue going forward. We don't think that's going to be a problem for the city of Farmers Branch. In the past few years, we've stayed under that each time, and with the amount of new growth in the community, we're able to offset that as that doesn't count towards the calculation. In terms of public safety, HB 9, it will become a felony for anyone to block a roadway that prevents passage of an emergency vehicle. So if there's protests on a freeway, if there's street racing, and they block emergency vehicles from being able to get by, if they get arrested, that would become a felony charge. HB 1024 is alcohol to go. So if you have a food and beverage license, you will be able to have alcohol delivered or take it with you, but you must have an approved seal on it so that it cannot be opened during transport. But that is something that the state passed, something that they allowed during the pandemic, which I think helped a lot of businesses, a lot of restaurants kind of survive, and something they want to see carry forward. HB 1927, which will basically allow you to have a handgun without a license to carry. But the reason that law is only going to be implemented in the state of Texas, the license to carry that we have is a cooperation that we have reciprocal agreements with the states around us. So both will be used hand in hand. You need the LTC in order to, still have your handgun if you go to, our surrounding states, but inside of Texas, you won't need one as long as you don't transport it across state lines. HB 1925 was camping in public. People can't intentionally or knowingly camp in a public place without consent. Officers must provide options to provide a list of resources and shelter that allow these people to seek some sort of help. Our officers are trained in this, so we're ahead of the curve in that manner, but that was a new thing to come out of the state this year. And in terms of, I guess one of the last ones I'll touch on is Senate Bill 1495. It's an offense to interfere with a peace officer investigating racing or other street exhibition of acceleration. And so if there are more than two people that are watching or involved, and that kind of kicks in a separate bill, it allows them to, I guess, have more force and, I guess, pull people over, make some arrests to hopefully stop, kind of the loud automobiles that we've been hearing around town. I think we're all aware of the loud sounds, the racing, everything else that's kind of picked up here in the last year and a half. But if a person is intoxicated, it immediately enhances it to a felony. And if someone is a repeat offender, it also escalates the offense. So they put some real teeth into this, and hopefully it helps alleviate some of the problems that we've had around our community in regards to acceleration, speeding, and definitely racing. But you can get much more information on that. If you go back and watch the tape, we had a pretty lengthy discussion, a lot more detail. And if you check the packet as well, you can read all 289 updates if you'd like. In A4, Councilmember Rotana wanted an update on the mental health program. That's going to be a collaboration between the cities of Carrollton, Coppell, Farmers Branch, and Addison. That's in work with Judge Crusoe's office, and something that working on getting a study done and looking how that'll be implemented. So just get an update on that. And also, we wanted to bring in State Representative Anchia to talk about not only an update from the legislative session, but also redistricting as we're going into that. I think it's important to know what we're looking at, what impacts that will be, but also he's one of the few state representatives who was there last time. So this is someone with intimate knowledge of how this works, could provide a good update for the city of Farmers Branch and what we're looking at. Councilmember Driscoll wanted an update on the new urbanism and what that means for Farmers Branch. And that's something that we'll bring back to a future council meeting. With that, that was the gist of our study session. So if you guys want, you can go back. Like I said, you can see the whole conversation and get more information if you'd like. Next is the mayor and city manager's report on items of community interest. Mr. Cox.
Thank you, Mayor. The Mansky Library will reopen to the public on Monday, June the 28th, after a massive renovation project that has added a modern new facade, new carpet, paint, shelving, and a large maker space. The upgrade has also brought the entire facility into ADA compliance. The Branch Connection will host the next Branch Bazaar from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, June the 26th in the ballroom. Find unique gifts, home decor, antiques, collectibles, and specialty items. Cedar Creek Brewery is now open in Mustang Station. Roots Southern Cuisine will open this Friday. Consider these two new great additions to our roster of delicious dining options when you eat out at our restaurant park. Our city's 75th anniversary celebration will be held in conjunction with our Independence Day event on Friday, July the 2nd at the Historical Park. Join us for a special night of food, fireworks, and live music to celebrate this milestone for our city. Residents will be admitted free with a Firecracker Fast Pass, which is included in the latest Branch Review newsletter, or can be picked up at the Community Recreation Center, the Branch Connection, or the Aquatic Center. On Saturday, July the 10th is Tejano Night at our Didden Drive live concert series. The evening will begin with Canta, Rhythm and Brass, and our headliner will be Bitty Bitty Banda, an all-star Selena tribute band. The concert will be at the Grove at Mustang Station, and as always, admission is free. Tickets are on sale now for Matilda the Musical at Firehouse Theater. It will be performed on the main stage from July 14th to August the 8th. It's a captivating, whimsical story about the anarchy of childhood and the power of imagination. Find tickets at thefirehousetheater.com. Please plan to attend the Farmers Branch Night Out on July 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. In addition to updating residents on recent projects, we will have our newest fire station, the Keenan Support Center, and the renovated Recreation Center open for tours. The mayor will also host a ribbon cutting to showcase our completely renovated Mansky Library. The city's COVID infection rate continues to decline. Thankfully, we have had no COVID-related deaths in Farmers Branch since May the 11th. Our public health department has a reminder that mosquito season is upon us. Please drain standing water and remember to wear repellent when outside at dawn and dusk. And finally, you can sign up for e-news at farmersbranchtx.gov to have current city news and information delivered directly to your email box. And with that, Mayor, that's the City Manager report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. One additional note is part of an additional celebration, July 4th weekend. The entire community is invited to an annual July 4th walking parade around Rawhide Creek. The parade starts at 9 a.m. on July 4th on Rawhide Parkway between Josie and Longmead. Children are encouraged to decorate their bikes and scooters, and everyone is encouraged to wear red, white, and blue. This is an annual tradition that started over 20 years ago by neighbors on Rawhide Parkway and continues today thanks to the support of so many in our community. For more information, visit facebook.com Farmers Branch Farmers Branch Parade. And additionally, I didn't want to miss any of our other electeds. School board trustee Sally Derrick is here as well, so welcome. Good to see you step out of your comfort zone and come to one of our meetings. Next is citizen comments. There's a 3-minute time limit for each citizen to speak with a reasonable limitation on speakers for one topic or item with a maximum of 15 total minutes on the same topic. Anyone wishing to speak shall be courteous and cordial. No disparaging or inflammatory remarks directed at any member of city council or staff will be allowed. First up is Rotha Crump. Name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Rotha Crump, 2976 Marsan Lane. I'm a 20-year resident, and I'm speaking to you today about bulk trash issues. On Harley Drive, there's been a mattress on the curb for 3 weeks. Across the street, there's a waterbed. Perfect setup for a tent city. One house down, there's a home for sale listed at $430,000. I wouldn't really want to be a realtor trying to sell that home. I don't think that I can complain without offering a solution. In Addison, they have a man in a truck driving around all day, every day, picking up medium to large items. I think we could do this. If our city doesn't have the funds for this service, the resident could be charged a nominal fee for picking up these larger items. It could be added to their water bill, $10 to $20, not giving citations, fixing the issue. My second issue is cars parked on streets. I drive down Hartside every Monday and Wednesday night. It's a 2-lane street with cars parked on both sides of the street and with 2-lane traffic. This is a dangerous combination. When I drive through this area at night, it can be precarious, kind of like running through the gauntlet. Solutions could include no parking on the street at particular items. When I lived in Addison, my street did not have parking between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., preventing overnight parking. Or parking on one side, or there has to be something that can be done. This is Farmers Branch. We can do better. I would also like to suggest a month of service. We have a lot of people in our city that aren't physically able to bring their homes up to code, financially not able to bring their homes and gardens up to code. I suggest that we take a month, and I'm thinking October in my mind, get organized with city resources and volunteers. A lot of our code violations could be fixed. And by the way, I oppose the 12-inch grass thing. That's up to my knees. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Crump. Just so you know, our Director of Sustainability and Public Health, Shane Davis, is in the back, and we'll be able to provide an update to you on the situation on Marsan. So if you just meet with him after we're done, he'll give you that update. So just wanted to make you aware of that. Oh, perfect. Next up is Bill Phelps.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, City Councilman. My name is Bill Phelps. I live at 3135 Rolling Knoll Court. I've lived there since 1967. That's 54 years. So I've seen a lot of things come and I've seen a lot of things go. Recently, I got to attend a town hall meeting, thanks to Terry Lynn putting that together for those of us that were interested in what's going on in Farmers Branch. And I learned a lot. One of the things I learned is that we're in the statutes, we have the grass issue. It's 8 inches. In another place, it's 12 inches. Well, they ought to get together and have one length of grass, but 12 inches, poor old Rotha, she's going to have a tough time getting around, you know? So I'm glad Rotha brought that up. That really puts things in a good light. So I think 8 inches is where it ought to be. It's not going to be up to me, it's up to you all. Another thing I learned was that there's, and what I'm saying is that we do need to clear up that statute. Another thing, speaking of statutes, I thought that you couldn't have boats in the front of the house or down the side in the driveway or in camping facilities. I honestly thought that was part of the statute. It's not. Well, we need it. We need to. We don't want to let Farmers Branch go downhill. more and more people are getting into recreation vehicles, and my wife and I used to have one years ago, but we got too old for that. It was a 25-foot Superior, and we had a good time, but we tried to keep it out of sight. So that's something that we need to address and take care of. And the last thing I have is on the backyards around the golf course. I live on the golf course. I used to play a lot of golf. I was a member of Brookhaven for 43 years. Bob Dedman and I used to play together. I enjoyed playing with him because he had a golf cart and it was full of beer, and it was pretty darn nice. But I want to tell you what, Bob Dedman just couldn't believe what some of the backyards that look up to the golf course today, if he were alive. They're just really, really appalling, and that's such a good asset for Farmers Branch to have a really good country club. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Candace Adams.
Candace Adams, 3521 Pebble Beach Drive. I have a few things to talk about. The mosquito spraying, we need to get it done as soon as possible because we're getting eaten alive. We can't even go check the mail. It's awful. And behind my house, there is a drainage area from the golf course in the easement area, and there's always standing water. I have 2 or 3 times bought my own sod and put back there to try to prevent the erosion. No avail. It just wipes it all out. And now because of the rain, there's standing water, the mosquitoes, etc. I have talked to Mr. Phelps about that, and I'm hoping that he put that on the agenda. What I'm thinking is maybe make a culvert or something like that to just let the water drain out so that there's no erosion, etc. That's a good solution that I would like to talk about. And then I would like to talk about code enforcement. I took a drive after the town hall with Mr. Lynn. Thank you for that. I saw a lot of horrific areas around here with grass that is taller than me. And I know I'm not that tall, but it's a forest in several areas. And code enforcement, I'm ashamed to say, are not doing the job to get that done, or they're being prevented from doing it. I don't know which. But if we don't know who owns the property to give them citations, perhaps our attorney needs to get involved and find out, because I guarantee the state of Texas or the IRS knows who owns that property. That being said, and I know that some of the owners are not able, they're homebound and not able to mow their yards and stuff like that. And I'm here to volunteer to say that if there are any senior citizens or people who are challenged and can't do it, maybe we can have a volunteer group, get a list, they contact the city. Maybe that can be done through a partnership with code enforcement, and we can go on a Saturday once every 6 weeks or so and mow the yard for them. And you know, because I know they don't want to do it. They look at their yard too, and they know it looks horrible, but they can't do anything about it. So I was hoping that we could do something about that. I also want the grass at 8 inches, and I would appreciate the RVs and boats and trailers and other items that are out obstructing the view to be moved off-site. If you can afford something that big and that expensive, you can afford to put it somewhere or hide it, because I don't need to see it. And someone had a suggestion that there was some land by the collection agency, the collection area that we have in Farmers Branch that's not developed, and that it could be developed and people could pay permits to house their stuff there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is it for citizen comments. Next is our consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, I move to approve our consent agenda as presented.
I have a motion by Councilmember Ratana.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Merritt. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Passes unanimously. Next is our public hearing. J1, conduct a public hearing and consider adopting ordinance number 3688 for a specific use permit and associated detailed site plan for an auto truck leasing or rental with outdoor storage on an approximate 2.23 acre property located at 13210 Senlac Drive, and take appropriate action.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Shrupa Sen, Senior Planner, Planning Department. The specific use permit request in front of you tonight is on 13210 Senlac Drive. The property is zoned Plan Development District 77. It's little more than 2 acres. There is an existing auto truck leasing business on this property with outdoor storage. You might be familiar with is the Enterprise Truck Rental business. There is a 2,800 square foot building, surface parking, a gated vehicle inventory area, and also a vehicle washing facility, which is primarily used by the business and not accessible to public. A little bit of history on the SUP request. They have an interim SUP that was approved by City Council in 2011, and it was to remain in effect for 10 years. So that SUP expired this April of 2021. That's why the business who would like to continue their operations at this location have applied for this SUP to renew their SUP or to apply for a permanent SUP, if you will. The plan in front of you shows the light yellow shaded area. That's their outside vehicle storage area, covering mostly of the eastern side of the property. PD 77 requires a screening of outdoor storage area, and they currently have, if you follow this orange line, they have a solid wood fence 8 foot tall with masonry columns that also continues another 82 feet along the north edge of the outdoor storage area. They have a gate here, and also along the southern edge of the outdoor storage, they have some landscape screening. This red circular symbols that's existing closely planted crepe myrtles. With this application, the applicant is proposing some improvements, additional landscape screening, which are not required by PD 77. However, if you drive on Senlac Drive, as the property south is vacant, you can see the storage area. So they are proposing additional about 9 live oak and 6 Chinese pistache trees along this area, as well as a solid row of shrubbery of Nellie R. Stevens, which will effectively screen all of their outdoor storage activity. They're also proposing 2 more street trees along Senlac Drive, proposing to add a 4 foot wide concrete sidewalk along Senlac Drive, which would connect to the new sidewalk along the north. The north property is recently developed with another warehouse business. And they're also proposing to add additional landscaping towards the north, along the north property line, solid row of shrubbery and solid masonry screening wall, and landscaping around their existing dumpster. From a comprehensive plan standpoint, the west side plan, which is where this property falls under, recommends this area to be employment district and recommends office and employment uses. However, West Side Plan, as you all know, it was adopted in 2003, is actually our oldest comprehensive plan. So the area, when this SUP, the interim SUP, when it was originally issued, the idea was that with the adoption of the original Mercer Crossing Code, probably this area will transform into more office or employment suitable land uses. However, over the past decade or so, that situation hasn't changed. So the current zoning, PD 77, continues to allow industrial uses. The surrounding land uses remain industrial in nature. And also, as recently as I mentioned before, the north property of this site has been developed with another industrial warehouse building. So the current land use is consistent with the surrounding businesses and provides employment opportunities. They are proposing additional improvements to the site, which might trigger further improvements along Senlac Drive. On May 24th, Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the SUP and the associated detailed site plan. Staff recommends approval of the SUP as well. If you have any question, I'll be happy to answer. And the applicant is present here tonight to answer any question.
Okay,
thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Councilmember Ratana, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Councilmember Driscoll.
I'm just curious if you had any letters or
support or opposition from surrounding property owners?
We did send public notification within 200 feet, but we haven't received any correspondence.
Either way, you haven't received any. Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Williams.
I have no further questions, thank you.
Councilmember Lynn. Councilmember Merritt.
No questions, but just for the council's notification, I did attend the P&Z hearing where this was discussed and had that opportunity. So no questions. Glad that they're working out the SUP situation in a positive manner. So that's it.
Okay.
Mayor, I do just have one comment. I just want to thank the owners for doing their due diligence and just adding that extra vegetation just to make sure that, there wasn't anything seen from the road. As a representative of the area, I drive Valley View all the time. And I just want to say y'all keep your property very clean. So anyways, just wanted to commend y'all for that. So thank you.
Thanks. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant since they are here? Nope, seeing none. This is a public hearing. We don't have anyone signed up to speak. So with that, if there's no further questions, I'll look for a motion to close the public hearing and take action.
Mayor, I move that we close the public hearing and approve ordinance number 3688.
I have a motion by Councilmember Rotana.
Second?
I have a second by Councilmember Driscoll. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Next to our regular agenda items, K1, discuss city council communication protocols and take appropriate action. We discussed this item at length during the study session, gave a high-level overview during our review of the study session items. Does anyone else have any discussion at this time? Okay. We do have one person signed up to speak to this item, Candace Adams.
Candace Adams, 3521 Pebble Beach Drive. I'm assuming that K1 21-295 is discussing about if we contact a city council person about an issue, even though it's not in our district, he or she is not representative in our district, that person is going to contact the representative of that district, or also is this about the protocols about how we talk in the meetings. So I was trying to get clarification on that because my question on if it's when we contact a city council person that we feel comfortable with discussing our issues, and they in turn, based on your protocol, contact the other council representative in that district, will we be notified that that handoff has been done? And how will we be notified and kept in the loop to make sure that that representative is following through with that request? Because if there's no follow through, something gets dropped and someone can say, I didn't get it, or, I didn't pass it on to them, etc. And if it's also about how we talk in these meetings, I don't feel like we need to tell you what we want to talk about. I feel like, yes, I can tell you what item I want to discuss, but I shouldn't have to put on the form what I want to say and have that be given to you all ahead of time and have a preparation for a counter balance or what have you. I should be able to come here and say, I want to speak on this particular topic number, and that be it. And that being said, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 2 points to that. To your second point about having to list what you want to talk about. Typically, the only reason for that where we don't know what you want to talk about is during citizen comments. And the reason we put that down is like the situation tonight when Ms. Crump brought up her situation, we had Shane Davis, the Director of Sustainability and Public Health, ready to answer her question and be able to get feedback immediately so you don't have to wait. It's more of a preparation of, what people might be looking to talk about. We as a council during citizen comments cannot address people back or make comments. So we're not looking to make a counter. This is more about if I can get you information faster and get it to you the night of the meeting when you have these concerns, I'm going to try to get it to you then, and that's all that really is.
And there needs to be 2 forms, one for citizen comments and one for agenda.
We can, it's online. There's multiple forms and way to set that up, but cool. And on the other point, it's not necessarily a full handoff. It's more of the common courtesy of, hey, this is a situation happening in my district. I just want to make you aware. If it has to escalate to council resources or other things, just making sure that these are approved and that everyone's on the same page and aware of the situation. It just gives, ma'am, you have to come to the microphone. Hold on, we gotta get on the record.
Yes, sir. My question is, because I've had this happen in the past, is that my concern has been dropped and no one has addressed it, and I don't know that it's been handed off, and I'm holding the person responsible that I communicated with, which isn't fair. So the citizen needs to be notified that the handoff has been done and that resources, et cetera, are being reviewed. Not saying that y'all are going to fix it or anything else, but that the concern was heard and that it was reviewed.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think we've all committed to work in that vein. That's all that we have signed up to speak to this item. Do any council members have any other? I saw your light on, Councilmember Merritt.
Yes, the focus of this discussion is not, and the mayor discussed it, is not to change the way the citizens address the council during the council meeting. What we're wanting to do, and as a new council person and as your council person, I want to make sure that if you have a relationship with any other council person and you feel comfortable, as you use that term, talking to them, I would ask for the common courtesy of my peers here on the dais that they let me know that they're addressing an issue with you. And to your ask of how we know that's handing off, we have the communication that is provided to us by having a city email account. And so therefore the documentation of a handoff is fairly easy to do and to notify the citizens as yourself. And you've already reached out to me, and I believe you've already received a response from me. So I want to make sure that as a new council person, we understand, and Ms. Williams, I think, shares it. She can speak for herself in a moment. But we want to make sure that the protocols and the courtesy of dealing with the citizens at large. We all know people who live in other areas, and we're not trying to preclude that, but we have a responsibility sitting here representing our district, District 5, to make sure that we understand what the issues are, who's raising the concerns, making those relationships, and working hard to improve our city overall.
And I'm just asking for the citizen to be informed.
Certainly, and we're working on that, and more to come.
Okay. Does anyone else have any comments at this time? Councilmember Lynn?
So, Ms. Adams, too, one of the points that you brought up, just so you know, I'm not, okay, you can come up if you want. I'm not made aware of who has submitted a form to speak during citizen comment, nor am I aware of what they're going to speak about. Those go to the mayor. It's his prerogative how he handles that, okay? I'm not made aware, none of us are made aware, of who has signed up to speak on a particular item. Again, those go to the mayor. He calls people up when we're discussing those items. So I just wanted you to know that. So there's no... nobody's ganging up, to use your words. I didn't want to say that, but yeah, I think that is not true. I don't think that's happening. Items that come up during citizen comment, because those items are not on our agenda, we're not allowed by charter to comment back.
Right.
So it's your chance to tell us. We sit here, listen, take notes, what have you, and then we can figure out how to address or re-communicate back. That's
Yes.
that's how that works. The other thing I want to say, going back to communication, I've been on council 5 years, and some council members are better at engaging with residents than others. Some do more than others. I'm not trying to indict anybody. We have new members. Councilman Driscoll, Williams, Merritt are new, okay? They haven't had time to really do a whole lot yet, but I'm sure they will because they're going to be here for a while. So, I made it my mission when I was elected to do things differently and to make sure that I kept people informed. I'm sure others will do that however they see fit to do that, okay? I have my way. Everybody does things a little bit differently. But I do think it works well when we are communicating, when we're respectful of each other, and when a resident calls, and I said, Councilman Merritt and I had this conversation on Saturday, and somebody from District 5 called me. Okay, I haven't responded to their issue yet, but I told them that I would. But I also told Councilman Merritt that I wouldn't do anything without keeping him in the loop.
Right, and that's
Okay?
only fair.
And I think that's the fair thing to
Yeah.
do. I don't have a problem with that.
No.
Because that person has a relationship with me.
Right.
He's either got to accept it or not. I'm
Right.
not trying, I don't think any one of us is up here to take glory or credit
Right.
from anybody else.
Right.
We just work differently, and that's it. And you and every resident just wants to know that at the end of the day, their concern is heard and responded to.
Exactly.
And
And we
that's
would
it.
know that
And
by
that's fair.
communicating back to the resident.
Yep.
That's all I'm asking.
So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? No? All right. All right. With no other discussion, I guess I move to immediately implement a communication protocol whereby a council member representing a district must approve another council member's economic development or code enforcement involvement in their district prior to city staff responding to requests for action. So, do I have a second? Second by Councilmember Ratana. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Just one,
Oh.
one discussion point. I want to clarify that the expectation of working an issue to its resolve needs to be partnered with, not just determined by having a discussion, but amongst ourselves. So if, I'm going to go back to what you just said, Councilman Lynn, if you bring up that discussion point with the resident in District 5, I want to make sure that we have a discussion that who's working that to the resolve, because I do not expect you to solve problems in my district. I want to be able to solve problems in my district. We can partner, but I want it to be, if the point comes to District 5, I want it to be David Merritt and not Terry Lynn. And that's, I want to make that for the record. So.
I think it's reasonable to expect partnership. Again, I'm not trying to take a territorial stance. I would sort of think that that's really up to the resident and who they feel is most comfortable in dealing with and whatnot. As I said in the meeting earlier, the council residents, and I also said this at my town hall, city residents should be communicating with their elected representatives and holding them accountable. We all ran saying that we were going to work for the residents. And the residents need to hold their representative, including myself, accountable. That's it. But I'm not sitting here. Somebody else may have a better idea how to resolve an issue in Council District 4, and I'm welcome to hearing that. And sometimes it takes outside eyes to help get to a solution, because sometimes people just don't like who they're working with. They don't like what they're hearing. And, it's sort of like having kids in a way. They're going to play their parents. Well, guess what? We're the parents. And sometimes we get played, and where folks will go to different council people to see what kind of answer they're going to get. At the end of the day, we should all be working for one thing, and that is make this city better. And if we have to have a written policy, so be it. I've already said that I would let you know when somebody reaches out to me. We can discuss how that's handled next step. I don't have a problem with that, okay? I'm not looking to create additional work for myself, okay? Who wants to do more work, okay? I didn't see any hands go up. So, we want to solve problems at the lowest level possible, if at all possible, and not try to escalate these things, and they shouldn't be a battle of personalities. I know they have been in the past, and that's more the function of those who didn't do much to serve their constituents versus anything else. So I think we all need to just soak this in and commit, which you did when you took your oath, that you're going to serve the residents of the city. That's all I have to say.
Any rebuttal, or you good to vote?
Sure, I think what we're seeing is a little bit of sausage making, and nobody likes that. And I think it's amongst the 6 of us, along with the city administration, to work out these problems. We are addressing all of the citizens, and the fact that perhaps, someone is more comfortable with you is perfectly fine. But I'd like, and I'm just telling you my preference, open forum here, is that I want to make sure that I run those problems of residents in my district to ground. I'm not suggesting for a moment I'm not going to listen to your input or take your advice, but I want to be the person, because I'm representing that district, I want to be that person to do that. I'm telling you that up front, and I hope that you'll hear my ask and that we can work underneath that expectation.
Do you have something? Okay.
I think I told you that on Saturday, but guys, y'all are giving me way too much credit if you think that I'm the great problem solver of the city. You really are. We're all supposed to be in this working together. If you're fearful, if you're insecure as to, I'm sorry, that was a bad choice of words. It wasn't that. Let me finish.
Guys, I think y'all need to work that one out onto the side, and let's move through this.
Again, we all need to commit to doing the right thing for the residents of the city.
We all have.
That's it.
We all have, so let's
All right.
table this.
Go ahead and call the question. We already have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously. On to K2. Consider approving resolution number 2021-72, authorizing a contract with Sea Green Scaping LP for construction of a wide sidewalk. Huh? Oh, sorry. You're good, man. Of a wide sidewalk and sharrows on B Street and Squire Place for pedestrian crossings at Valley View Lane and Tomfield Road, and take appropriate action. Mrs. Davis.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council members. Mitzi Davis, Sustainability and Public Health. In 2019, City Council approved a contract to create design plans for sidewalk and pedestrian enhancements. Now it's time to construct those improvements. Which brings me here tonight seeking council approval for resolution number 2021-072, authorizing a contract with Sea Green Scaping. This project aligns with the City Trail Master Plan vision by creating a more connected city with safer, walkable, and bikeable streets. The project area includes 2 roadway segments and 2 pedestrian crossings as follows: B Street, Valley View Lane to Valwood Parkway; Squire Place, Denton Drive to B Street; Valley View Lane at Rawhide Drive, and Tomfield Road at Rawhide Park. I have prepared a short slide presentation to explain why the trail improvements are important, why we chose the locations, why the projects are considered high priority, challenges, and the next steps. You will see pictures in later slides that capture the importance to create connected pathways that are inviting and attractive. Why is this important? It's sustainable development. We strive to provide opportunities and infrastructure to get you out of your car, to reduce vehicle usage, increase support and alternate modes of transportation for walking, biking, and transit, to provide pedestrian and bicycle routes to the DART station for commuters and others, and to connect key destinations. In the past, City Council has expressed an interest for amenities in the station area. We can achieve this by, in our neighborhoods, to develop and create bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure for people of all ages and abilities. Building a nice, attractive, and wide sidewalk that links to retail, grocery, restaurants, parks, and a firehouse theater would complement the new development on B Street, as well as encourage individuals to walk. These things are what we should be providing. As development occurs in the area, connections and improvements become even higher priorities. We can improve the user experience by constructing wider sidewalks meeting ADA compliance, enhancing pedestrian crossings for safer passage and visibility, and providing pavement markings for on-road bicycle sharrows, alerting the motorists to share the road. The form-based code calls for 11-foot travel lanes. This allows us to reduce the northbound travel lane on B Street to provide space for bicycle and pedestrian enhancements. Create safer sidewalks by increasing the width. At the crosswalks, we would like to link trail connections and create high visibility for trail users. Our concerns are about the safety of pedestrians. There are no dedicated crosswalks, markings, or signage alerting motorists of a trail crossing for individuals using the Rawhide Greenbelt. The Rawhide Trail also provides an important connection for school-aged children biking and walking to Farmers Branch Elementary or to Vivian Field Middle School. Crosswalks will meet ADA compliance and achieve higher visibility with the rapid flash beacons, allowing safer passage and refuge in the medium for pedestrians and bicyclists using the existing trail system along Rawhide Creek. The projects are high priority based on the recommendations in the Trail Master Plan, the recent commercial development in the station area, and the proximity to the DART rail station. And voters passed a $7 million bond to improve trails, sidewalks, and the nature preserve. The projects are situated in the central zone between I-35 and Midway Road. The road and sidewalk becomes an important opportunity for connection because much of this area is comprised of mature residential neighborhoods with limited trail links. Many of the parks, trails, and destinations are within easy walking and biking distance. Based on visual observations by the consultant and staff, the traffic volume on B Street seems low and will offer users a better experience. Squire Place offers a direct connection to a future cycle track to be constructed on Denton Drive as part of a regional trail system linking Farmers Branch to Dallas and to Carrollton. I've included several slides showing a few of the challenges that we face along B Street and demonstrating why it's important to create connections that are inviting and attractive. Let's take a short walk to Restaurant Park and visualize the experience. Let's begin on a 4-foot sidewalk, cluttered with utility poles, fire hydrant, and retaining wall. Then we'll move on to the overgrown vegetation, where the pathway is not inviting and there's a utility pole in the way. We have vehicle parking on the sidewalk. It's probably not always there, but it just happened to be there when the picture was taken. The overgrown vegetation and narrow sidewalk doesn't allow couples or others to walk hand in hand on the sidewalk, and we also have the on-street parking on the sidewalk, on-street parking on the roadway. We have missing sections of sidewalk that require one to walk in the street or through the grass. And if you would note the new development on the west side and the missing sidewalk connection, we need to provide a safe way to get to the restaurant park or other retail shops. On this slide, you'll see 2 commercial businesses that lack sidewalk and ADA ramps. There's 3 utility poles, and in the far background, there's a telecommunications cabinet and a vault within the city right-of-way. We have heard council's concerns about the utility pole and the sidewalk at Starbucks, and we're trying not to replicate the situation. Regarding this project, staff has made efforts to eliminate, relocate, or bury utility poles. We have met or spoken with representatives from Encore, AT&T, Grows Electric, and the business owners to discuss the possibilities. The city is willing to bury the poles at no cost to the business owners. We're working with AT&T and have a couple of solutions for a better path meeting ADA compliance. The first pole in the picture will be eliminated and service will go underground at no cost to the owner. To date, the other business owner in the 13,000 block is unwilling to work with the city in our efforts to eliminate the pole to provide underground service. Therefore, the pole will be relocated within city right-of-way to accommodate the ADA ramp. Funds are available in the CIP bond account, and the next step would be to award the contract for construction. The contractor has 200 calendar days to complete the work after the issuance of the notice to proceed. Questions?
Ms. Davis, thank you very much for your presentation and your work on this. I know it's been a long time working through the beginning of the trail master plan through now, but Councilmember Rotana.
Thank you. First, I just want to say thank you for all of your work. Very excited about this project, and I know the residents of District 1 are as well. One thing and I'm not sure if, because I don't think we've received agendas for our Farmers Branch Night Out, but I think it'd be really great to add this as, along with the trails updates for the west side as part of the presentation, since we'll have District 1 residents there later this summer. So just a note on that, if that's possible, because I know we talked about having a meeting with our residents in District 1 to talk about that. So, so I think they'd love to get the updates. One question related to that, you talked about the funding that, we have some property owners that are unwilling to assist with the funding for moving the poles underground.
No, they're unwilling to work with the city to actually relocate the pole or to eliminate the pole.
Is it a funding thing? Is it a funding issue?
No. It's just a matter of the city coordinating with the utility company and having the pole eliminated and an underground service put in place and connected to the business at no cost to the owner.
At no cost to the owner. Mm-hmm. Do we know why they're unwilling to work with the city?
I do not.
Okay. Okay. Honestly, I thought it was a funding issue, because one of the things that I wanted to ask is, the North Central Texas Council of Governments, when I was with the city of Dallas, we worked on a grant program for a safe route to school. And I don't know if this would be a safe route to school, but basically they help pay for the sidewalks. And so they actually paid for all of the sidewalks as long as we deemed that it was a safe route to school, and the COG paid for it. I don't know if it's something that we've applied for in the past, but something maybe to consider, especially if we can prove that it's a safe route. Because I don't know, I know you said we have a grant for that. I don't know if we'll pay for the entire thing, but when you were talking, I thought about that, and I'm not sure if we've taken advantage of that as of yet for this particular project.
No, we have slated bond funding for this particular project.
Okay.
We have money in the bond fund for this.
Got it. Okay. And that may be for, for future reference, because I know since I started on council, I've been advocating for sidewalks, to make sure we have them on both sides of the streets and those types of things. So I'm so excited that you all have worked so diligently to help us do this. But anyways, and I'm happy to discuss more about the Safe Route to School program and how we go from there for future projects. So just excited about it. Thank you so much for your work.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your support.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Yes. First of all, I'd like to just say thank you, Ms. Davis, for your work and the work of staff on this project. And as someone who served on the bond committee several years ago, I can remember looking at those types of pictures and situations, and we were just dreaming like, well, how long is it going to take? So it's very nice to see things coming to fruition, and now with the development in what's kind of the future downtown here and the connectivity issues and everything, it'd be so nice, when we can look down the road a bit and those telephone poles will be eliminated and all the other things you brought up. I just had one question. Could you elaborate a little bit more? You talked about the sidewalks and the utilities, et cetera, but what about making this like the bike sharrows and making it safer and
I failed to mention,
including bikers?
There will be bike sharrows on the north and southbound lane of B Street as well. as well as the wider sidewalk. So the wider sidewalk will run pretty much from Valley View to Valwood. And like I said, there'll be sharrows on B Street to encourage bicycling to get to the destination and get people out of their car, or to encourage them to walk and not hop in their car to take that short walk.
Right. And will it also include Squire?
The
Or just B
Squire,
Street?
the Squire piece will be from Squire, from Denton Drive to B Street.
With
And
bike
that'll be the
sharrows?
section. It will not have the bike sharrows, it will have the wide sidewalk.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilmember Williams.
Ms. Davis, thank you so much. This is one of the most exciting projects that I've gotten to watch since taking the dais. So, you know, the walkability and increasing Farmers Branch walkability has been a big issue for me, and you know, connecting our restaurant park in particular is a big deal for me as a business owner and as a resident in the area. So I'm just very, very excited to see this happen. So, and I appreciate all of y'all's hard work and the city looking at helping to fund all of those improvements without adding an additional burden onto those businesses located along B Street. So I just
Okay.
appreciate your hard work.
Thank you for your support.
Councilmember Lynn.
Thank you, Mayor. So I don't understand what the disconnect is here, why the businesses are not cooperating.
I don't understand the disconnect either.
Okay, who was in charge of, or was there a person that was to go out and visit with these businesses and explain the project to them individually, or did we just rely upon a town hall meeting, or excuse me, a city called planning meeting to have an informative discussion?
I made attempts to visit with the business owners and to explain with them. I've had stakeholder meetings set up to explain with them and answer any questions they may have and see what possibilities we could work out with them. And I just did not get support from that particular business owner that did not attend the meetings.
He did not attend the
He
meeting.
did not attend the meetings. I had a couple of phone calls, and that was the most success that I had with the business owner.
Okay, so do you think that we should probably ask the mayor to speak to that business owner? He's the chief marketing ambassador of the city.
I would be happy for any help if we
Okay.
could get that pole eliminated and underground service put in. That would be fantastic.
Because is it just one that is holding up process right now?
Correct. There's two locations. The first owner is willing and is excited about relocating the pole or eliminating the pole and going underground service. The other business owner, I just did not get support from.
Is that Hackler?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So my suggestion, Mayor, please, is to have you visit with this individual, and hopefully you can persuade them to participate in this. I got to believe there's something that they're missing, that they're not understanding. And if we can solve that at the lowest level, or in this case at the highest level, with the mayor speaking to them, then hopefully we can get the thing moving forward.
I'll walk over in the morning.
I didn't hear you.
I said I'll walk over in the morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Ms. Davis, thank you for all your hard work, and the master trail plan is coming together as we've put together on sitting on Parks and Rec many years ago, and on the bond committee as well. So thank you for all your hard work, and I'm supportive of the comments that have been made here. We're looking forward to, improving our city and resolving any misunderstandings perhaps that are out there. So thank you very much for your work.
Well, thank you for your comments and thank you for your support.
Thank you. We have one person signed up to speak to this event, Ms. Adams.
Candace Adams, 3521 Pebble Beach Drive, and all of my questions have been answered. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Do I have a motion? Rackham Tech. Go ahead.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 2021-072.
I have a motion by Councilmember Ratana,
Second.
second by Councilmember Merritt. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously. Next is K3. Consider approving resolution number 2021-074, authorizing a contract with Iron T Construction, Inc. for construction of the Farmers Branch Creek Erosion Repair Reach 1 project and take appropriate action. Mr. Bentley.
Mayor, members of the council, as you know, we're continuing to work on the creek and trying to chip away at the priority project list that was set in front of us back in June of 2018. What you have in front of you, the two different projects, they're both similar. They just hit different reaches. 2021-074 is for Reach 1. Reach 1 is a portion that is located near Marsh Lane. You have basically 4 small projects that encompass the entire project that we're looking at. And 2 of those are upstream from Marsh and 2 of them are downstream from Marsh. Well, I'm sorry. Let me get there. On June 2nd, the Public Works Department did receive bids for this project. There were 9 bids received, and Iron T Construction, Inc. was a low bidder at $700,030. They are a successful contractor in doing similar projects, and we are here today to recommend award of the contract to Iron T Construction, Inc. for $700,030.
All right. Thank you very much. Councilmember Town, any comments? Councilmember Driscoll?
Not at this time.
Councilmember Williams?
No comments.
Councilmember Lynn?
I do. So in regards to the area E5 and on the Tanglewood side, if I'm looking at this properly, we had a house over there that was causing us, I guess, some issue, and maybe this is more a question for the city manager. Are we expecting problems if we do any more work with one individual over on the west side of Marsh Lane at the bridge? You know,
No.
Yes, I know you. Okay. We're not expecting any
We
problems.
are on the south side of the creek, completely on the south side of the creek.
Okay,
We are
well,
going
it was hard to
through-
tell on this drawing because I
Yeah.
saw where the line was, so I
Yep.
wasn't.
We're going through Dr. Biavati's property and over to get to
Okay.
there, so they will not be affected at all.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Okay.
Councilmember Merritt?
No further discussion except for Mr. Bentley, if we could make sure that we have the reach diagram in the packet in so much, we had to go back, went back to the June 19th, 2019 to find that document. It was not part of this particular packet. It would have been helpful to have that.
Okay. Apologize for that.
Thank you. But other than that, no comments. Thank you.
We don't have anyone signed up to speak to this item, so if there's no additional discussion from council, I'll look for a motion as this is marked for action.
Mayor, I move to approve, I'm sorry, Resolution 2021-074.
I have a motion by Councilmember Lynn,
Second?
second by Councilmember Driscoll. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Next is K4. Consider approving resolution number 2021-075, authorizing a contract with Stoic Civil Construction, Inc. for Farmers Branch Creek Erosion Repair Reach 3 project and take appropriate action. Mr. Bentley.
Well, I will keep it short. This is an area that is between Webb Chapel and Veronica Lane. There are also 4 projects in that reach that we will be working on. We did accept bids on June 3rd. We received 6 bids for this project, and Stoic Civil Construction, Inc. was the low bidder at $750,000, and they actually did a prior project this past summer on some of the city infrastructure. So they're a very good contractor, and we look forward to working with them again. Therefore, we recommend award of the contract for $750,000 to Stoic Civil Construction, Inc.
Thank you. I want to start down this way this time. Councilmember Merritt?
No further discussions.
Councilmember Lynn? Councilmember Williams. Councilmember Driscoll.
No questions.
Councilmember Rotano. No questions. All right. We don't have anyone signed up to speak for this item, so with that, I'll look for motion.
I move to approve Resolution 2021-075, authorizing a contract with Stoic Civil Construction, Inc. for construction of the Farmers Branch Creek Erosion Repair Reach 3 project in the amount of $750,000.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Williams, a second by Councilmember Merritt. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Passes unanimously. K5, in the study session, we decided that we were going to table this discussion until the next council meeting, so we won't be hearing that tonight. We have no action to take out of executive session, and so with no further business to conduct, I will conclude tonight's meeting, and we will adjourn at